Guys, our first sponsor, you know them, you love them, Guerrilla Graphics Design Agency. I don't even really need to say this because you guys are probably so familiar at this point, but they can provide you with top-tier effects and production value. They have everything you can ask for, including professional equipment and a stellar end product from top to bottom. The CEO, Jaden Swales, we've had him on the podcast numerous times. He's both funny and energetic, and he also just has a keen eye for, creating a piece of media. And I support him 100%. So head over to GuerrillaGraphics.com for all of your design needs today. That's GUERRILLA GRFX.com. Guys, are you trying to find your next spot for a show or event? Well, look no further, because Starbucks Productions is here to help. If you're looking for a solid team of people to get you started with your next performance or event, this is the company to contact. They're always busy and in motion behind the scenes in the Midwest and have plenty of shows lined up. So what are you waiting for? Head over to Starbucks Productions' Facebook page for all of your needs today. Guys, before we mention our last sponsor, let me ask you a question. Are you a rock band or a solo musician looking for representation and a way to secure shows? Well, our newest sponsor, Cranial Nerve Records, can help. This organization has been fundamental in securing live shows for the podcast, and we cannot be more grateful to them. Reach out to them for bookings via email at cranialnerverecords@gmail.com. All right, buddy. This is the McAllister's podcast. I'm your host, as always, Colton McAllister. We're joined today by local rapper Louie. How the fuck you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good, bro.
Hell yeah. This is your first podcast, as you were telling me before.
Yes.
Like I said, you have some fucking Earl vibes, man. I'm telling you. You sound and look like almost just like him. It's stunning.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yeah. So let me ask you first. What is like the thing that got you into your artistry? Yeah, you're a rapper. You say, or is that what you would define yourself as?
Honestly, yeah. For the most part, yeah. I just feel like I'm like an artist, but like not trying to be like I'm an artist. So like, yeah, I'm a rapper.
Okay, sure. Well, you do kind of have. I was listening to some of your music today. You are kind of more on like the trap, SoundCloud rap, which I love. I mean, yeah. it's good shit. Yeah. But I guess like what got you into this? What started you on doing this music shit?
Honestly, like I think I was like 16, just hanging out with a group of friends and just doing like a bunch of fuck shit, and it was like boom, I should just rap, and it was all from there.
Hell yeah. So like, were you doing a lot of like freestyle ciphers, or like is a lot of stuff premeditated? How do you go about that?
Like it started off like freestyling, but now it's just like I just go in the booth and like I just say how I feel, pretty much.
Hell yeah. But you're doing it like on the spot usually.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So are you doing kind of like the Juice WRLD method, where it's like a little bit here, a little bit there,
Oh, nah, bro, because Juice WRLD was like rapping like.
Yeah, that's true. He
just
really
rapping. Yeah. Like, nah, I'm not skilled like that.
Yeah, you see that video where he does it like he does like the hour-long freestyle. I think it's West Side or Westwood. Yeah, that shit was crazy, man.
Like I could never.
An hour straight. I don't even know. Like you would think that you would get repetitive at that point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think so. Like I would go on that bitch and feel like do a smoke perp probably, and like be done with.
Yeah, right. I mean, that is cannabis like a big like is that a big inspiration for you? Like like when you get in the booth, does that help you with your artistry and all that?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
It's quite an experience.
Yeah, I mean, I always found that they go hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
Fucking cannabis and smoking, or music, I should say.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, like, if you make a song sober, it's still gonna hit, but like,
Sure.
if you make it high, even someone who's sober is still gonna listen to it, be like, what the fuck? You feel me? It's like a high for them at that time.
Yeah. No, there are obviously exceptions to this rule, but I always believe that artists have better when they're on drugs. Take John Coltrane, Kurt Cobain. Well, Kurt Cobain did it until he died, I guess, but or was killed. Which one?
conspiracy.
But like Floyd, like all of them, like you see artists, and like it seems like when they're on the drugs, no matter what kind of drug it is, they seem to be like making better music.
Yeah.
I say this as a guy who's in doing a month of sobriety right now.
Like, but don't do drugs.
maybe I don't know. What do you think about like drug legalization? Like, do you think there are some drugs that should be illegal?
Bro, I don't know. Like, I think it's fucked. Like, I don't even want to get into that because it's like, bro, if all drugs are legal, there's so many people making money so many ways.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I feel like we should just keep them illegal.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. But like, is there anything wrong with somebody making money off that? I mean, like, if you go to a drugstore and get Advil, they're making money.
There's nothing wrong. It's just like, I'm not really trying to have the church making $1 billion off of coke.
The church?
Bro, yeah. I mean, like, fuck it, bro.
You know, I will say that's some of the funniest shit. That's of all the ideas I've had, or thoughts I've had about people selling cocaine, the church was like, the last one.
Imagine it. That's what the fuck would happen, though.
Can you imagine that if they had the water and they like do the sign of the cross and they have a little spoon, like they just
does a bump right there, like that's cooked.
That's why all these evangelists are jumping up and down the whole time, right? They're all cooked up. Yeah, man, praise the Lord. Going wild,
I feel you.
The church selling cocaine. That's fucking crazy.
Look into it. It's a conspiracy, bro.
That's a real conspiracy?
Yeah.
But like, what do you mean? Like, tell me more about this. Well, I've heard about like the FBI putting crack in the streets and shit like that. Is it like that or different?
This is just super different.
Okay.
I might be capping, but like,
hey, that's fine. We're not True Social or anything. Yeah, this is just a podcast. We're hanging out.
So like, you should look into it. Like, Google if the Catholic Church sells coke, and I bet you'll find something.
Okay, but just give me like a brief summary of like what the conspiracy, if you can. Sorry, kind of putting you on the spot. I really am curious about this though. I've really never heard this. Like, I was raised Catholic and shit. And, like, I never fucking heard about the church selling cocaine. It's insane. Is this where you wanted the interview to go? By the way, are you happy with this?
I'm completely fine with it. Oh shit. So
anyway, Louis, what kind of stuff are you writing about when you're doing your music?
I feel like I'm just writing about like a free lifestyle, not like a weird free lifestyle. You know what I mean? But like, just like when you're back in high school, just doing a bunch of crazy shit.
Sure, living life.
Yeah, living life.
So is it reminiscing, or are you still trying to live that, or like?
I feel like it's mostly like a mix of reminiscing and then living life at the same time. And just is like, as I grow, it's like it gets more in depth with the story I'm trying to tell. You feel me?
Hell yeah. Excuse me. So when you're talking about growth, like what kind of things do you talk about? Like, relationships, your life in general. Like where do you think you've grown? I know, hard-hitting questions here. I'm sorry, man.
It's like, I don't know, bro. Like,
do you feel like you're at a job interview? Is that?
Yeah. Like, do I really want the job? Do I really want to try?
Am I that bad of a boss? I'm pretty chill.
Damn. No, like when I say like when I grow, like I mean like just like getting in tune with like different sounds and shit like that. Like just like trying to listen to new music and like trying to learn new things.
Hell yeah. Like do you even branch out of hip hop? Like try to Hell yeah. What kind of other stuff you listen to?
I listen to like, bro, it might be weird, but like I listen to Cher.
Cher.
Like,
is that
do you believe in love after love?
Hey,
Bro,
that shit's great, man. You know, whatever you think about some like corny, whatever 80s, 90s, whatever era artist,
Yeah.
like the fact that they made it says something, right?
exactly.
Like even if you think it's kind of whatever, you can still be like, hey, they still made a fucking career on what they're doing. You know, that in itself is impressive.
Literally. So it's just like listening to shit like that is just like I feel like I'm getting to a place where I know what I want to do.
Fuck yeah. So I don't know, what kind of like inspirations do you pull from in like other artists and stuff? Like, is there anybody that you look up to, think about when you're kind of doing your craft?
Yeah, but like not really, cause like at the same time I don't really listen to music like that on a day-to-day basis. But like there's a couple artists, I won't say their names, but like it's just like where you see where they came from and what they did and how they got there. That's crazy. It's not about the music. It's just like how they did it. Crazy.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, you can listen to music all day long, but until you understand what the artist is and where they came from and, you know, how they succeeded, like, you're not going to, you know, it's going to be hard to grasp that.
Yeah.
Until you understand that. Yeah, man. I mean, you know, it's like I used to be a rapper.
Really?
Actually, yeah, McCretin. That was my rap name. Don't go listen to it. It's awful.
I'm gonna say someone put the link in the comments. Like someone find it and put it in the comments.
But like, you know, I don't do that anymore. You know, I focus on the podcasting. A lot of that is because so many people came through here that were rappers, and you hear about the amount of work they're putting in, and like, you know, how many hours a day, you know, and you just look at their lifestyle, and you know, it's great, but like that, I just realized like that's not for me.
Yeah.
Like I need like my space here at the podcast, you know, do your thing. I think that's what's important, right?
But like I feel like sometimes you don't really even gotta like go through the route of like doing the most. Like on some real shit, like you can do it, like you can physically do it, but like I feel like you can just, there's like, I don't know if you ever heard of this rapper, but his name was like Wintertime. He was a SoundCloud rapper.
No.
Made this like fire ass song, blew up, and just like completely disappeared off the face of the internet, and like nobody can find him. So it's like, it's all what you feel about it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, yeah, it's like about how much success you want.
Yeah.
Right. I guess I don't know. I have that like drive. I feel like I have like the thing that like Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs have, where like they have this like drive. I'm not saying I'm that, but like I'm just saying like you have that drive, like that just, you know, it seems like it'll never end. I feel like I have that. I feel like I suffer from that.
How successful do you want to be?
You know, it's interesting. I was actually talking to someone about this the other day. I would like to be at a point of success where I have notoriety in Des Moines as a podcaster. Like, people know who I am, and I'm able to make a comfortable living. That's my idea of success.
That's nice.
Which, you know, isn't a preposterous, you know, idea by any means, but, you know, it's hard. Especially in podcasting. There's, I mean, and the same is true with artists, but like, you know, it's so oversaturated. Yeah. I think they come out with like, it's in the hundreds of thousands of podcasts every year. But the good thing is if, you know, if you do more than like 20, you're already in like the top, like 5-10% of podcasts. That's how many of them just drop off.
Damn.
They do like 10-15 episodes and they're like, we're not bad, this isn't working, etc.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't really get into my grind until probably 75 episodes in.
Really?
That was finally when I felt comfortable podcasting.
And you're like, yeah, this is for me.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
It takes a long time, man. How long have you been you know, doing your music?
Taking it serious 2 years.
Okay.
Making music for probably 5.
Okay. Let me ask you this: what's the biggest thing that you've learned from your start 5 years ago to now?
The mix, like the mix, because it's like you can write a song and like you can say completely nothing on it, and like have the beat like just overpower it, and then put it out and think it's fire, but it's fucking ass.
That's very true, man.
Or you could write a song, say completely nothing on it, have the beat on there, but like the mix is just so intense, or like such a different experience. Tame Impala for a perfect example.
Who?
Tame Impala.
I'm not familiar.
I don't know if you ever listen
Tame
to
Impala.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar.
Like
Yeah.
his vocals are like not shit on there, but like their music is just like crazy.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's really the instruments and the music that matters the most, not the vocals.
Yeah. I don't know how you feel about him, but it's kind of like Drake, right?
Yeah.
Like Drake, I feel like Drake's music is, more about the beat.
Yeah.
I feel like when people, like when he gained notoriety, is because he had a fucking, who's the guy?
Noah 40.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Noah 40. Yeah, like
imagine, see, like dude has a fucking engineer for like 10 plus years,
exactly.
and like he's the man who's really doing the work. So it's just like, that's what matters.
Yeah, it's like Macklemore. I'm not like a huge fan of him, but like it's undeniable that the height of his career was when he was with Ryan Lewis.
Exactly.
There are those like beautiful combinations that happen where it's like, oh, like these people are making music together, and like you see them separate off, and that they're not going to be as successful.
Yeah.
Without that. It's crazy, man. Shit, man. This is going well. I don't have notes.
It's okay, man. It's okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But yeah, let me ask you this. Here's my point. Because you look at music like back from, hip hop specifically, back from like the 80s and 90s, it was a lot about bars. People were like going up and spin a 16 right there on the mic. The old school days.
They were on coke.
Well, that's probably true. For yeah, for sure. Is that a key component in music?
No. Not at all.
Maybe maybe this goes back to what we were talking about. It's the drugs, right? Kind on Xanax and lean, and that's why the music's slow, right?
Literally.
No, but I guess like what, like kind of to your point earlier, like what do you think about that? Like the correlation between like do you think there's anything lacking in the popular music in this day and age because of maybe the lack of those bars, and maybe more about like the kind of what you were talking about, like the beats or whatever?
That's a hard one because like no and yes. I would say for like mainstream artists, yeah, it's something lacking there big time for mainstream artists. But like for a bunch of these underground artists, or even these artists that are blowing up from TikTok, is like nothing's lacking there. That's just pure, genuine creativity right there. So it's like the people who are on top, that's what's kind of lacking there.
I see. So you think that there's like yeah, I mean, I can see what you're saying. Like the people who are on the bottom, they they're trying to make something new. They're maybe they're probably grinding harder in a sense, because there is that desperation in it.
I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of like sick.
Yeah, no, it's crazy seeing people like really, and that's, you can say what you want about the negativity of like technology and where we're at with that, but like that is a very good aspect of it is that you can just get a laptop. I mean, there are people who like they'll do a song on the iPhone microphone and they blow up that way.
And
which
it's like, that's so crazy.
Yeah, which is like like a video audio guy. It's a little insulting. I'm not gonna lie.
It's kind of very disrespectful. I think I've seen one video with a fucking kid with a fucking McDonald's headset. Made a song with it. What? Yes.
Dude. Hey, he's probably got a sponsor for life, right?
On like a 2008 Windows computer.
Oh my god. Fuck off.
Shit's crazy.
No, I mean that is great, but like I'm sure there's someone who spent $50,000 plus on a recording studio and they're looking at this like, motherfucker.
Mad as shit.
Yeah. Fuck, I remember I invested hundreds of dollars in my home studio.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I got them, actually this mic right here. This mic, and I had the thing and the programs and all that. Yeah. I made my own beats. So I had, the keyboard with that too. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It is, yeah, it is a lot of money. Like, that's one thing I will say. If you're really trying to focus on yourself, I will say, like, record on your own for a while before, like, trying to go into the studio, because it's not going to make sense to you.
Yeah, that's really good advice, actually.
Because, like, only you can know what you want to sound like.
Exactly. Yeah, no, you have to be able to, well, I mean, the first step, you have to be able to hear yourself, right?
Literally.
Like, it sounds kind of silly, but like with either video or audio, like when you really start like listening to yourself, like visualizing yourself, like it's kind of a rough, it's a rough patch, because you're still kind of realizing yourself in a sense.
Yeah.
And then like, yeah, if you have never done any kind of studio time recording, and you go in and you spend whatever, like $100 an hour at some studio, and you waste 3 of it sounding like trash. I mean, that's your paycheck right there. Right?
Yep. It's sick as fuck. And then you put the song out, and then like it's not doing good because you're like, I just did that. So.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck. Yeah. Have you done any performing, anything like that?
Yeah, I've done a couple shows. Yeah, a few. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. Did you get any kind of anxiety when you do that, or are you pretty comfortable?
So like the first one, I'm not gonna lie, I was like pretty like psyched out, kind of
like anxious, like freaking out,
like
type of
super anxious.
Yeah.
And like I remember like we went to the back, we smoked, and like time was just like, it just went to that time, and like I just like remember just being like, you know what, I made this fucking song, let's go. And like I did that, and I was like, okay. And then the second one, I like still felt anxious, but it was just like, okay. And then the third one is like, you still feel anxious, but it's like, I'm getting there. So it was like, I get nervous, but like once I start hearing like the bass of the music, it's like, it's over with. And like, keep in mind, I wasn't really like off drugs or anything, so it was just like straight sobriety at that point.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of an interesting thing, right? Like I've been doing this month of sobriety, and like I've decided to quit drinking. And like there's just something like
Ooh.
Fuck you. No, I'm kidding. We are in like one of the like drinking capitals of the fucking America, right?
Yeah, catch a DUI, go home safe.
I haven't heard that one. That's funny. No, I mean, it's fucking true though, man. Shit. I think Iowa had like the highest amount of alcohol consumption. Like, it won the top 3 at least in the United States. Well, over COVID, it like fucking doubled basically. Everybody's just sitting at home drinking.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think everybody kind of went off the deep end during COVID. That's some crazy shit. But yeah, I mean, anyways, back to my point. Like, there's something. This is the podcast, everybody. But like, there's something kind of having like a clearer head.
Yeah.
That kind of can help you in a way.
It really does, though. On some real shit, though.
Yeah, you have to be able to handle it. And like, again, I don't condone drug use. I'm gonna, in a week, I'm gonna be fucking hitting the blunt again, and it's gonna be great.
Chilling. I feel like there's a word for it. I just can't think of the word. What is it? Like,
word for what?
Like
abstinence?
Not abstinence. Like when you can control yourself.
Oh, self-control. That's
probably. But like, I just feel like with drugs and like, or weed or alcohol, it's just like, it depends on like having self-control, knowing when it's like to stop and not to go overboard.
Yeah. Do you think that that's the case for everybody, or do you think that there are people that just cannot drink or smoke or whatever?
I feel like there's some people that don't like it. Some people like it just don't stick well with. But for most people, even with addiction, I just feel like it's just like you can't control something. Just mentally or physically, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I just feel like it's just not self-control.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting though. Like, I feel like sobriety almost becomes a drug in a way.
It does. It really does.
People like that's kind of the thing I'm worried. Like, I don't want to be arrogant. I don't want to be like an arrogant prick going like, you know what I mean?
I used to have a friend who like never smoked or drink or anything.
Yeah.
And like super energetic, like just does shit. I remember we were driving and like dude just opened his car door and just started running down the street because like everyone was just high and it's just like, what the fuck,
bro? You should that man should hit the blunt. I would prescribe that.
literally.
Jesus. Yeah. Steve-O, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, he does. I mean, because he's completely sober. He's been sober like 15 years, and he does this thing where like it's to the point now where he has a food guide, like a food sobriety partner, and he takes a picture of every meal he eats and sends it to him for approval. That's how fucking on his sober shit he is. It's like there's a point, right? There's a line. I feel like you're overdoing it at that point, bro.
Because like it's crazy because some like addicts they go sober and then they get addicted to food and just like how is that the correlation?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it kind of goes back to what we were talking about off camera. It's like, socially acceptable, right? Like alcohol is socially acceptable, foods are socially acceptable, cigarettes are socially acceptable to a point.
Yeah.
But if you're doing heroin or coke or weed in some cases, like people are gonna shun you for that, and it's gonna, in my opinion, it's gonna reel you further into that addiction.
Exactly.
Yeah. Have you heard of Carl Hart?
No.
He is he's a professor at, I can't remember what university, one of them on the East Coast. And he teaches something related to addiction or psychology or something like that. And he's a regular meth and heroin user. Like like day to day, like not day to day, but like he's like, I need some of that.
Like not day to day, but like he does it.
But like a couple times a week. Like he takes meth and heroin like 2-3 times a week. Just he does his day at school, class, gets all his work done, and that night, most people would have a beer or smoke a blunt, and he just huffs a little heroin or a little meth, and just that's his life. He handles it totally, like, and he's been doing this for years, like decades. He
should be a rapper because that's like some different type of bars right there. I do meth and heroin.
He wrote a book called Druggies for Grown-Ups, which I have not read yet. But it's an interesting premise. I think I really wonder how much of it is like, I love how we've got on this entire ass tangent, but I really wonder how much of it is like societal pressure versus,
honestly, like it kind of makes sense. It's just kind of tough that it's meth and heroin.
Yeah,
but like it's kind of like the same thing with like microdose and fucking,
exactly. Well, like I take Adderall,
really?
And that's meth. Essentially, I mean, we're talking about coffee before. I mean, those two things are only really a couple molecules. Like if you look at molecularly, it's really only a couple molecules difference.
No, really. But it's crazy that they give little kids fucking Adderall.
Oh, that, yeah. Yeah, dude, that shit's fucking crazy.
Sheesh.
Because I've had my own struggles with addiction and all that, and I think the things that were the most addictive and the most harmful to my life were prescribed by a doctor. Yeah. I believe that 100%.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
Why? I wish I was a doctor.
I'll do a little oxycodone, a little Adderall.
Like
throwing some Xanax. Fuck, dude.
I feel like they got like the same type of power like cops have. Like, if you think about it, like they're just in there, like, yeah, fuck out of my office.
I'd say it's probably a lot easier for a doctor to get arrested than a cop, though.
Yeah, depends on what type of doctor.
Well, let me put it this way: a doctor cannot send a cop to jail.
That is true, but a doctor can kill a cop. Really quick.
Inject potassium under the bottom of your tongue. That's the best way to kill someone.
Dead.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just OD them on potassium.
You're just teaching people how to commit murder now.
Yeah. So how you make a bomb? We're gonna do the next 10 minutes of the podcast just dissecting how to create a bomb.
First, you need nitrogen.
I'm reading this interesting book called The White Pill.
Really?
By Michael Malice. And in the book, because the author is an anarchist, which I'm not, but I think it's interesting. It's an interesting philosophy, a lot of interesting things to it. But in this book, they're talking about like the history of these movements and like how these anarchists and socialists discovered, they either discovered or they procured like explosives. Like the guy who invented it, they like got it from him directly, and like they, because the police were taking away like all their other weapons and stuff, but then they like, we have fucking bombs, what? And like they, they used that to their advantage, and then like they ended up like executing a bunch of guys, people that like weren't even at this protest that went wild, that just like spoke at it, like got executed for even being there. There was a guy who he didn't want to get executed, and he had someone sneak in a bomb. And he put it in his mouth and exploded in his mouth. And they found him like with his jaw hanging out, writing "Hurrah for Anarchy" in I think Russian. That's commitment to your ideology for sure.
And that's the thing. Like I hear good books, and I'd be like, yeah, that should be a movie because I'm not gonna read that. Like that.
Man. Normally I'm the same way, but I don't know. It's weird. I've been getting into it more.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Usually,
do you like read them or like do you listen to them?
I read them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
I can't do audiobooks, man.
Really?
I do podcasts, but like audio, there's just something about the audiobook I can't, with the narrative, I can't do it.
I don't know. I got into audiobooks just for a little bit.
Okay.
And it was pretty chill. Like, I don't know. Just not reading and just hearing it was like, oh, this makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I don't know. I think I have something where like I don't see most people read and like they'll have like a visualization in their head, like they're almost playing a movie in their head. Yeah. And I don't read like that. I just take in the information. I like almost like compute it.
But I feel like we're getting to like the time and age where like technology is just getting so advanced. It's like
yeah.
Fuck do we have to read like
right. That I mean it is very possible that books are become obsolete.
Like, and that would be crazy because like damn, well like once we're fucked and we have to read something, then there's gonna be like a whole generation of kids who can't read.
You're already seeing it now with these damn rappers using all these symbols and all caps in their name. Literally. Motherfuckers can't even spell. No, I'm kidding. I get it. I get it.
There is some rappers that can't read. And I bet they use an audio version to listen to it.
They're like reading an album cover and they're like, where's the audiobook for the album cover text? Where are the audiobooks for the lyrics? It's in the album, motherfucker. Can't listen to the whole thing.
Just listen to the song.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, they must, they'd have to be confined to freestyle at that point, right? Being some Lil Wayne shit. How he just like quit writing. Did you ever hear about that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, so Lil Wayne, because he started like when he was fucking 8, like a kid. Damn. So he, he's been doing it for a minute, but like there was a point in his career where he decided like I'm not writing anything down. I'm doing it all off the dome, all freestyle. And he went in and he recorded I think a 1 to 2 hour session, just straight. He just took his notebook of everything he wrote and he just rapped all of it. And then he just from that point he like got rid of it. He's like, I'm done writing.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, he's one of the goats, man.
He is a Weezy F baby.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, it's really sad they got all that legal shit. His career just kind of, he's limited. He's not like, I don't think he's like, I don't think he's lacking anything. He just is legally, he's scared. He got in a lot of trouble and he doesn't want to fucking.
I mean, like, they're a strong gang, man. You don't want to fuck with them.
Yeah.
That gang, the 12 gang, or
is that what it is? I'm not familiar with this gang.
No, it's I think it's the police gang. They're a strong organization.
Hey, you're speaking the truth, man.
They got a lot of bodies on their head top.
Dude,
so like,
hey, I agree with that 100%. That is the fucking deadliest gang. Fuck. Fucking America's the deadliest gang. We fucking start shit overseas. We fucking bomb motherfuckers for no reason. For oil. People out here capping for drugs. We fucking bomb people for oil, motherfucker.
It's so fucked up, but like it's low-key kind of funny because like we're just out here like straight up bullying people. Like we bully each other, but then like we bully like bigger things, and it's so crazy.
Hurt people hurt more people. Yeah,
just a bunch of gangs, man.
That's what life is, a bunch of gangs.
Just a bunch of signs.
Yeah. You ever hear have you ever heard Marlon Craft?
No.
He has a song. I don't remember it's My Gang or Gang Life or something. But he talks about like how like the police system, the KKK, and the perspective of a black guy in jail. Yeah. And he basically, the point of the song is that like everybody's just a part of a gang. That's really what it is. We're all part of a group or clique, and like to an extent, people will use whatever force necessary to protect themselves or their loved ones or whatever.
Yeah,
I
might need to listen to that because that's very true.
Yeah, Marlon Craft. I can't remember the exact title of the song, but it's gang something. Yeah. Shit, it's good shit, man. Fuck, man, we've been going for about 45 minutes or so. Shit, do you have anything else you wanna mention?
205 is a mixtape that's gonna be coming soon. For now, I can't speak too much on it, but as well, there's gonna be an EP coming here soon, untitled. So far.
Hell yeah! You still in the process of that?
Yeah. It's gonna be a vibe though. It's gonna definitely just take you there, It's sunny out, you go on a drive, listen to it.
Hell yeah.
If you're in the bars and you got your AirPods, put it on, listen to it.
Hell yeah. Let me ask you one more question. You like for your beats, like are you working with local producers or you mostly go online or?
Recently I've been working with a couple local producers. There's a couple people around in Des Moines that's just like unrecognized. I'm not gonna say their name because
keep them unrecognized.
Like once you hear about them, and you know who the fuck I was talking about right now. But for now, yeah, there's a couple producers I've been working with.
Hell yeah, keep it local. I know Iowa's kind of a small state, and Des Moines kind of a small town in a way, but people forget LA was like that once too.
People just gotta be nice. Just be nice to each other.
Hey, I agree with that 100%. Yeah, treat others how you want to be treated. It sounds elementary and cliche a little bit, but I think it holds a lot of truth.
Just be chill, make some music, do whatever you do on your free time.
Yeah, whether it's meth or heroin or legalize it. I had an idea for the podcast. What if we just did an episode for every drug? We just one day start with coke, and then we just.
Honestly, I wouldn't attend that, but like
you would watch it, right?
I would, bro. Like you would be famous by the first episode. Second episode is just a download. You might as well just Twitch like every episode, live stream the shit.
Be the true guinea pig. Yeah. Be like one of those motherfuckers who like takes acid while they're dying.
Yeah.
I need to fucking rock with this shit.
But as well, like, there's a show coming up. I can't remember, but I think February 17th.
Oh, that's a show of yours that you're doing. Yeah. Okay. And do you know where that's at?
Your private bar.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm Lolo and all them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Me and Lolo always. I'm very familiar with what they do, and yeah, I support them 100%.
I just want to psych out the. I like to say this term is like turn up the max. Like I was
turn up the max and psych it up.
Yeah. just for a little bit.
Hell yeah. Well, you psyched when you first started, and now you're psyching out the audience. It's great, man. It all comes full circle.
Literally. And like everything I said in this podcast was like just all props. This shit is not real.
Hey, I truly believe podcasting is 50% bullshit.
No cap.
It's literally just the art of talking.
Yeah.
Like if you were to have like the people who are like all like analytical and stuff, like the Lex Friedmans of the world and shit, like they're podcast. I mean, they're informative and great, but they're also kind of boring. They're like just is who
Just
the
saying it.
mysteries of science and the universe.
You should honestly like do like a murder podcast, but like
Dude, no,
on, like,
there's too many of those fucking things.
no, but like listen, hear me out. On like local Des Moines murders. So like
Yeah, like the shooting that just happened.
And you should just like, but you should blame like the most outlandish person, like just like a common white mom. like Kim, like blame Kim Reynolds.
I was
or
just
something.
thinking that.
And just be like, yeah, she fucking did it.
Kim Reynolds went to the YMCA in the AR-15 and just you didn't vote for me, I'm gonna fuck you up. Louis, it's been a fucking pleasure, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, bro.
But I guess let me ask you this: where can people find you? What are your socials and all that?
Okay, so Louis Mid is my Instagram. LUIMID.
You're admitting that you're mid? No, I'm kidding. I'm just joking.
on Apple Music, SoundCloud, and everything else is Louis with an asterisk.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, everybody go check this stuff out. Guys, listen to the Cowstars podcast. As you know, we're here every Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. We have a website, thecowstars.com. Go check that out. Go donate.
Gang.
And there's yes, we're starting a gang. We're having sign-ups and attendees. We're gonna have our first gang rally here in a couple weeks.
USA
we're going back
killers.
KKK style, white hoods from burning crosses, everything. We're taking it back, bro.
Oh, props.
I'm kidding. This is satire. Jesus, be like that last show where the fucking lady wanted to kill me.
I want to meet her.
I thought about talking to her afterwards, but I didn't want to get like wet by a drink thrown in my face or something.
That would be fucked.
But anyways, you guys can donate to the website. We also have Patreon with exclusive content. You guys can check that out. And yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good night. Peace.